Hello, everyone. So glad you could join us. We're starting to get the hang of this. Athletes Unlimited Softball, the softball like you've never seen it before. My name is Eric Collins. I'm with Danielle Laurie. Danielle, we've already seen one game today. What do you expect to see in the nightcap?
Well, I mean, I'm interested to see how the hitters have made adjustments off of Kat. I mean, last week teams were able to score, which was a big deal. So it'll be interesting to see today if she's going to be able to get beat. And then I have to look at Team Reed, and that to me is defense all the way. The fact that you have Urtez and flipping up the middle with a little sprinkle of Team Mexico on the corners, I'm excited to see how this is going to play out.
And breaking the huddle and coming into the circle, starting for the 5th time here with Athletes Unlimited, it is the great left-hander, Kat Osterman.
And I expect no one else but her when she is the captain to start game 1. She loves Gwen Svekis behind the dish. They've been working together for 3 straight weeks, and that just truly shows you the importance of having someone behind there that you fully trust. See, she is 5-0 with a .48 ERA and 29 innings pitched and leads this league in so many categories, and a above and beyond difference for me when I look at her compared to some of these other pitchers. And what makes Kat so great is the fact that she doesn't miss over the heart of the plate. She makes you chase out of the zone, has that devastating drop ball. One of the best.
Well, her caddy has been Gwen Svekis. Gwen Svekis has just got to be feeling so wonderful each of the last 2 weeks. She has been the #1 overall pick. Kat has had that pick and always wanted to be united at the hip with Gwen Svekis. Pretty cool combination. Infield of Warren and Shelby Pendley on the left side, Leach and Mauga on the right side, Mandie Perez, Victoria Hayward, and Michelle Moultrie in the outfield. And getting us started will be Haley McClenny. Many people think she's the best defensive outfielder in the world. Well, if you saw her Monday night, you probably agree.
I have to completely agree. I think by far McClenny is top 3 in the world. You just look at the ground she's able to cover, the full layout. I mean, this was a Sports Center top 10. No doubter. I want to play with her. I'll be playing against her, but I want to play with her.
So McClenny leads things off. McClenny, Flippin, and Sanchez against Osterman. And we start with a called strike 1. McClenny, part of Team USA. She'll be teammates with Kat Osterman next summer over in Tokyo. Former all-everything during her 4 years playing for the Alabama Crimson Tide. 2 quick strikes for Osterman, and McClenny smiles knowing that if Kat gets that pitch, it's going to be a long evening.
Uniquely last week, I mean, they were teammates together. Kat picked McClenny high up in the draft, knew the importance of having her on her team, and this week it did not fall that way based on obviously Kat needing to get Svekis.
I think Kat has to be thrilled with how the draft played itself out. She took Svekis right out of the chute, but then on the way back down at 8th overall, she was able to get Jessie Warren, who she loves playing with. Victoria Hayward was still on the board at 11. Hayward has been arguably the best outfielder here so far offensively in the first couple of weeks of Athletes Unlimited Softball. McClenny swings and misses. What's new? Another strikeout for Kat Osterman.
And this is her bread and butter pitch. I mean, that is just picture perfect. They're just not touching that.
So 5 pitches into the game, a strikeout for Kat Osterman. Next in line is Hannah Flippin. Even people who don't watch a whole bunch of softball, if they get a chance to see Hannah Flippin, you notice something special. She has had wonderful at-bats for the first 2 weeks, and she has been close to flawless defensively at both second base and shortstop. Doesn't make any mistakes. Always in the right spot. And she leans towards the spectacular. Pretty cool combination.
Well, listen, she's one of the first hitters that I've seen that is standing up in front of the box and trying to make Kat have to bring that drop ball up a little bit.
Deep drive, left center field. Hannah Flippin's done it. Solo home run for Flippin. That's got to feel great.
They've been practicing their home run trot and celebration for days, O'Toole told me. And that's just a pitch. She tried to go up in the zone, and the difference between where Hannah Flippin is standing is that ball would be a little bit more elevated if she were to be in the back of the box, but because she's in the front and Kat's not going to blow you away with speed, she's able to barrel that up. And that's honestly, Eric, I think, I mean, I'm not standing down there where I'm getting in the box, but you're not someone that would need to fear Kat's speed, it's spin. So I think moving up in the box is not going to put her like a Monica, where she's going to throw 75 at you if you're at the front. So it's like if you can make her have to bring that drop ball back up in the zone opposed to in the back where she can really snap it off. It
makes sense.
It's intriguing to me that people are way in the back.
Amanda Sanchez is back in the box, and Kat makes quick work of her in the first two pitches. Strike one, strike two, and then the third pitch, strike three. So Kat's angry after the home run to Flippin, and she strikes out Sanchez on three pitches. You have mentioned, Danielle, in weeks past that this was going to be interesting as the season progressed, as people got more of a look at Kat Osterman, whether or not they would be able to make adjustments.
And it's comfort, right? The more ABs you have off of someone, you have a better understanding of what their stuff looks like. And until you step in the box off a Kat, you really don't have much of a clue. And she makes you kind of swing at pitches that you think are fully in the strike zone, yet they're almost bouncing. So the more ABs you get, the more comfortable you are in the box of your approach. And okay, if she's gets ahead of me, she tends to go here. If I got 0-0, she's really likes to get ahead with that backdoor curve or that regular curve.
2 balls, no strikes. Taylor Edwards, the batter. Loud but foul.
You know, and besides Morgan Howe last weekend, the hitters that have got hits off of Kat are players that have had experience playing against her. I think that just shows the comfort level of being able to have a good idea of how the ball breaks, the adjustments you need to make, and experience just gives you a little bit more sense of calmness when you get into the box.
2 balls and a strike to Edwards. Kat Osterman, with that home run, has now given up 3 earned runs in 29 2/3 innings. Here with Athletes Unlimited. She has been by far and away the best pitcher. And the walk with 2 outs, a base runner aboard. So we've actually never had a ball in play. 4 batters into the game. We've got 2 strikeouts, the walk, and the 1 ball actually wasn't in play because it went over the fence. The homer by Hannah Flippin. So 5 batters will face Kat here in the first inning. Here's Tori Vidalis, a lot of power.
You can tell she's getting frustrated. That's a pitch that she's able to get normally. And you see Team Reed just taking advantage of that and cheering like crazy in the dugout and just trying to get as much momentum as they possibly can.
Popped up, will it be playable? Looks like it will. Warren, foul territory, side retired. An early 1-0 lead for Team Reed. Team Osterman heading to the bat rack, bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at Kat Osterman's lineup. Guard They'll bat against Randy Hennigan. First ball swinging, Hayward right to the second baseman. Flippin throws out Hayward, 1 pitch, 1 out.
It's funny, Hennigan last weekend was playing with Kat, and now she's playing against her. Kat got to coach her at Texas State. I thought, you know what, last weekend she did pretty good for about 3-4 innings, and then Kat had to come in and clean up some stuff a little bit, but that's what I would expect from Hennigan. 1-2 times through the lineup, and then you have to respect the fact that hitting is great and potentially pitch by committee a little bit.
Aubrey Leach next in line. Half swing back to the screen, 0-2. So far so good for Hennigan. She has thrown 3 pitches, all have been strikes. Hennigan played in college at Texas State as Randy Rupp. Hennigan is her married name. Second-year pro. She spent last year in the NPF playing for the Cleveland Comets. Right to the third baseman. Sanchez didn't flinch. Oh, Hennigan wasn't thinking she was going to play pro ball. He mentioned that she played at Texas State for the Bearcats. Her pitching coach was Kat Osterman, and Kat said, you've got the arm, you've got the mind, you know how to do it, you should play pro ball. But before that, Randy had never even considered that as an option. But with Kat urging her on, she said, I'll give it a try. And she has been a pro for the last couple of summers. Here's Jessie Warren. Inning points on the line. In the top of the first, Team Reed scoring a run. A Hannah Flippin homer. Warren, 500 is the batting average. 11 for 22. Not the tallest player here with Athletes Unlimited, but she, one of the most talented. Got on top of that. Ball and 2 strikes. And while we have a moment to take a look at the defense, it's a very good outfield from left to right. You see that battery is Hennigan and Monroe. Sanchez, Urtez, left side, Flippin, Vidalis, right side. But that outfield, lot to like. Reed can really go get it. We've told you about McClenny ad nauseum, what she is all about in center field. And Morgan Zirkle, maybe the fastest player this year with Athletes Unlimited.
Well, I mean, defensively, Team Reed is as set as they possibly can be. I think the question for me has to go, will they be able to hold it up in the circle?
That ball crashed into the fencing in front of the third base dugout.
And even with that fencing still there, with some of those heavy pull hitters, got to constantly be on your toes.
Ball and 2 strikes. Wow, went upstairs, and Warren chases. So a fantastic first inning for Hennigan, and inning point. So far, so good for Janie Reed and Team Reed. They lead 1-0 over Team Osterman. Let's take a look at the Carvana draft recap.
Yeah, I'm really excited about our team. Something that Lappin and I had talked about was getting players that can play both sides of the ball. So, you know, solid defensive players and hitters, which is mostly everyone in this league. But, you know, some of my favorite people ever to play with and watch are on my team. So I'm really excited for the week ahead.
She mentions Lauren Lappin, one of the facilitators. And Janie Reed, yeah, I think that she did a phenomenal job getting Haley McClenny to join her in the outfield and center. I love the combination of Flippin and Urtez anchoring the middle of your infield. There's not going to be anything that gets through easily. So you can see why she was smiling at the end of Tuesday's draft.
Yeah. The only thing for me is, can pitching hold them together? I love defense. Defense wins championships, but if you don't have a solid pitcher, you're not going to win. And obviously, Hennigan had a great first inning. We saw O'Toole get roughed up a little bit last week.
Softly right side, and Mauga tags Reed on the way by.
So that's the only thing when I look at this and I think about it in Team Reed, that's the only issue that I would have. Is Danielle O'Toole capable to be able to take on a good chunk of innings this weekend and to be able to have success with that? Because if not, I mean, it's Hennigan and Coley Reese.
Here's Aubrey Monroe. Called strike one to Monroe, former Florida Gator, part of the national team. She'll be in the Olympics next year in Tokyo. She is an elite defensive catcher and hasn't started much, but she's getting an opportunity against Kat Osterman. Lazy fly ball to left field, caught by Mandie Perez. 2 down. Two down, bases clear. Anissa Urtez, shortstop from Utah. Interesting. We know the relationship between Urtez and Flippin. They were teammates at Utah and were phenomenal. We saw the home run hit by Flippin when she moved up in the box. It looks like that message hasn't been communicated to others on Team Reed.
Well, and everyone's comfort level is so different. When I make comments and say that's what I would do, that's personally what I would do, but everyone is so uniquely different with their setup, where they like to be, what their comfort level is. But I think the one thing that makes hitters uncomfortable is speed, right? So that's why Monica Abbott's one of the best in the world. She throws the hardest. So you don't want to be at the front of the box with someone that throws 75. But with Kat, you're not really scared of the speed. It's more the spin. So trying to challenge her in different ways, where it's like if I'm in the front of the box and I crowd the plate, I feel like I can get enough inside part of the plate where I can get on time with that, but I can maybe make her bring that drop ball up a little bit and not drop it off the table as much as she does, and how it would look to me in the back of the box.
Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Kat Osterman was the youngest player on Team USA in 2004 when they won gold over in Athens. 2008 in Beijing. Got the ball in important games. Ended up with a silver medal after losing to Team Japan. And then no Olympic softball for over a decade. Just hard to believe. If you ask me, just a colossal mistake internationally, but it's been rectified. Softball back in the Olympics next summer. Kat Osterman will be on Team USA, and she'll be doing great things you can imagine. She strikes out Urtez. Back in a moment. But Team Osterman is down 1-0. Team Reed getting a run back in the first inning on a homer by Hannah Flippin. Well, Kat Osterman's #1 pick in last Tuesday's draft will step to the plate. Gwen Svekis leads things off. It'll be Svekis followed by Mauga and then Pendley. So far, so good for Randy Hennigan. Right-hander got a 1-2-3, bottom of the first inning, couple of ground ball outs and a strikeout. A little bit low, 2-0. Well, Kat had the #1 pick. As we take a look at Week 3 draft trends, Kat took Svekis #1 overall. That's the second straight week that's happened. Wow, Svekis 3-0. Leading off an inning with a lot of power. Let's see if she gives herself the green light. Remember, this is a league all about athlete empowerment. Athletes making a decision for themselves in real time. 4-pitch walk. So that's the first base runner allowed by Hennigan. And now she'll face Katiana Mauga.
Well, and that's the one thing, I mean, you need to kind of be better at, right? Like walking a leadoff hitter is just never good, especially when you have a lead. I mean, you need to make that your priority of like lead outs are key. You cannot just 4-pitch walk someone right out of the gate and not expect for an inning to potentially get out of control a little bit. So it's really just understanding the fact that if you have a lead against Kat's team, my job as a pitcher is to come in, pump strikes, find the strike zone, and keep having my team's back because they scored a run for me.
Mauga way out in front, down in the count 0-2. Wind is starting to blow a little bit out towards center field. Way outside. Hennigan points to herself when she gets the ball back from the catcher, Monroe. Just 5'2" is Katiana Mauga, but only one player with more collegiate homers than her. Enormous power.
Ooh. Those are the types of swings where as a pitcher you just kind of go back on your heels a little bit. She just mashes. And one of those hitters that just does not get cheated. She will 100% go all out every single swing.
Another 1-2 pitch. This is par for the course. We mentioned that there are 56 elite players this year here in Rosemount with Athletes Unlimited Softball. Mauga is one of only 2 that have never struck out in a game. Mauga and Megan Wiggins are the only 2 batters who have not gone back to the dugout after an at-bat with a strikeout next to their name. Two balls and 2 strikes. Inning began with a 4-pitch walk to Svekis. There it is.
I swear, you jinx it.
The first
jinx it.
of the season for Mauga. Hennigan gets her.
You did it with Myers. You did it with Mauga. Only one left in the league. It's Wiggins. I mean, that's a hats off. That is a great pitch. Mauga battled, and she's able to just snap that curveball away.
Here's Shelby Pendley. Well, no one happier than Shelby Pendley over the last couple of days here in Rosemont. She has the distinction of being 0-6 so far through the first 2 weeks of Athletes Unlimited play. Has never won a game in this format, which is stunning considering all the winning that she did, winning the national championship at Oklahoma. She played for many years in National Pro Fast Pitch and won many Coles Cups. But so far, has not been on a winning side, but that'll change this weekend, I'm here to tell you. As long as you're connected in some regard with Kat Osterman, you're going to get yourself a good chance of getting a win. Ball and 2 strikes. Hennigan walked Svekis to begin the inning on 4 pitches, and she's been a strike-throwing machine ever since.
And I like it. That's a good spot. You got a 1-2 count. That's the one thing I think I've seen with the pitchers that I wish that they were better at is when you get 0-2, 1-2, you really have to be precise with where you're placing that ball. Have to be smart when you are ahead in the count. Able to make such great, strong throws.
Seen a lot of pitches here in this at bat. 5 hits for Pendley through the first 6 games, but doesn't have anything more than a single, which is unusual. A couple of years ago, led the NPF in homers during a season. 3-2.
And I've seen Hennigan go up in the zone a little bit more today than she normally has, and I love that. It was a conversation I had with O'Toole yesterday just about pitchers staying primarily down. The hitters are too good. You have to hit all quadrants. And that's a great spot. I mean, 3-2, obviously you don't want to throw something way up in the zone, but that is a hard pitch to lay off of, and I would have to tip my cap on that.
Second walk of the inning allowed by Hennigan. This player conference presented by Mariner Wealth Advisors. Everyone in the infield having a conversation as there's runners on at first and at second. And Sammy Fagan, who handles the bat very well, will be the batter. So a lot of options when Fagan comes to the plate in this situation. Bottom of our second inning. Fagan's now the 4th batter of this second inning. No one has put the ball in play. 2 walks wrapped around a strikeout. Off speed misses. 2-0. Line smash into center field. That'll score a run, maybe 2. Svekis chugging around. She will score. Here comes Pendley. The throw, not in time. A 2-run double for Sammy Fagan. Team Osterman takes the lead.
And this is just straight up down the middle of the plate. Not a great spot, and she's able to just timely hitting. That's a 2-0 pitch. And Svekis and Pendley able to come through and score.
With Pendley rounding the bases, Aspiration Bank just committed to plant another 100 trees to drive environmental change. Team Osterman leads for the first time, 2-1. So inning points for Team Osterman. Inning continues with Mandie Perez. Ball 1 inside. Arizona product, Mandie Perez. Corners are in. Lifts it in the air. There's some wind up there. Heading back, looking up. Zirko running out of room. How about Mandie Perez? 2-run bomb. And it's a 4-1 lead. That ball was well struck. I do think the wind may have played a factor.
I mean, that's pitch, I think, just up in the zone a little bit, but it's a good spot on the inside part of the plate, and you just see how excited she gets. This is great hitting by Mandie Perez. Not a bad spot by Hennigan. I think that's one of those kind of take your hat off and tip your cap.
So Mandie Perez, how about that? Picks a great time for her first base hit here with Athletes Unlimited. It's a homer. She had been 0 for 3 through the first 2 weeks of Athletes Unlimited softball. 2 strikeouts and 3 at-bats, but that's ancient history, she'll tell you. Michelle Moultrie bats. 1 ball and 1 strike to Moultrie. Former SEC Player of the Year, playing for the Florida Gators. Well, it's been said before, the dreaded leadoff walk. Gwen Svekis walked on 4 pitches, and that just changed everything for Hennigan. Remember, she was looking great in the first inning. She went 1-2-3 against Hayward, Leach, and Warren. And Moultrie's drilled it. So trouble continues for Hennigan. That is now 4 consecutive to reach against her.
Well, and that just seems to be the trend, Eric. It's like the pitchers are coming in and they throw one great inning and all of a sudden the wheels fall off. And I don't understand. Like, how can you go out and be so good and then the next inning are literally the opposite? To me, it's frustrating. I almost feel like I'm the pitcher that's in there because I'm like, you do so well coming out of the gate, ends on a strikeout up in the zone, and then all of a sudden next inning, I mean, we got a 4 spot. I just think you have to be so much better as a pitcher, especially when your team scores you that run in the first inning. Go out with that behind attitude, that sense of like, okay, we're going to beat Cat Osterman's team today, and I'm going to be the pitcher that's going to lead them. Instead of coming out and throwing 4 straight balls to Svekis, and then all of a sudden this happens and this. It's just, be better. I'm not impressed.
Victoria Hayward, ball and a strike. Victoria Hayward wears that number 1. She was the first person to commit to Athletes Unlimited softball. Was given the proposal and said, that sounds fantastic. Of course, she wants to keep her skills sharp. Member of the Canadian national team for over a decade. Sanchez throws to first in time, and wow, what an unusual almost double play. It looked like they had Moultrie too far off the bag.
And I tell you, Amanda Sanchez at third is so good, and then the heads-up play right here, right away. Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh. Listen, what you're taught as a youngster to do tags is to instantly just put it in the front of the base. So it's like, don't ever go try to tag the runner. Go and touch the spot where you know their hands are trying to go and make it that effortless type sweep. And Jessie Warren is one of the best in the game when she does it. But that's a pure example. If you watched last game, you would know the fact that people are sliding way past and having a tough time getting back to the base. Got to just make that direct tag and know whoever goes off how to lay that tag down.
Mike Rayner, our replay official, is taking a look at the replays that we have. He's taking a look at this in the same time that we are. The call on the field was safe, so you need clear and conclusive evidence to overturn.
Eric, I'm going to go with her hand is on the bag before the tag. I'm going to stay with the call on the field.
Thank you, Mike. All right, so the inning continues. It'll be scored as a sacrifice for Hayward. Hayward will get 10 points for the sacrifice, moving Moultrie into scoring position, but there are now 2 outs. We're starting to see as the weeks progress how some of these players are starting to figure out the nuances of the game and the scoring system and how they can get individual points and still do something that's good for their team. Victoria Hayward did something good for her team with the sacrifice, but she also got 10 points for it. Here's Aubrey Leach. Called strike 1 to Leach. Already 4 runs have scored for Team Osterman in the second inning. Slapped into left field. That's fair. Another run will score. Moultrie rounds third. And look at Leach go. She's going to come around third. Leach looking for the inside to Parker. She's got it. Aubrey Leach home to home in record time. And it's another 2 runs for Team Osterman. How quick was that?
Wow, I wonder how quick it was compared to Janie Reed's last week. And it's just one of those, it got by the outfielder. That can't happen. You have to find a way to just square that ball up because she has so much speed. And it just so happens she gets a little inside the Parker on a bloop by Reed in left field. Woo.
How about that, Aubrey Leach? Her first homer with Athletes Unlimited. And it's an inside the Parker. A 6-run second inning for Team Osterman. And now Team Osterman is batted around. How unusual is this? Hennigan got a 1-2-3 first inning, and in the second inning allows 9 batters to come to the plate.
I don't know if that just needs to be a better communication with the catcher based on pitch calling, or if it's something between the ears for the pitchers.
Jesse Warren struck out to end the first. Three hits for Team Osterman in the inning. All of them have been extra base hits. A double by Fagan, the homer by Perez, and the inside the park homer for Aubrey Leach. Each hit not only went for extra bases, but each hit scored 2 runs. One, two. Little bloop, shallow right field, flipping and goes out. Can't make the play off the tip of her glove. 2-out base hit for Warren. Her batting average is back up to 500.
This is a tough play. I just almost think Zirkle just needs to come in and call that off all day. She can see it, and Hannah Flippin has her back to it. Would this have been a phenomenal catch? Of course. But Zirkle is almost the fastest in the league. You got to make that play.
Scored a single for Warren, 10 points. She is now 12 for 24. Here's Svekis. Began this inning with a 4-pitch walk. That is now 5 consecutive balls thrown by Hennigan to Svekis.
Well, and the hard part is you have Danielle O'Toole in the bullpen, and it's 6-1. It's like, you know she's going to be your ace and workhorse, but do you want to bring her in with...
Deep drive, foul. That ball was clubbed.
And that's why, honestly, I believe, Eric, this league is going to flourish, and it's going to be year to year. But I would like another pitcher on every team. I think the importance of having 4 pitchers is what you need to just be able to lean on someone a little more. Some pitchers can have your backs, but it can be difficult at times to try to manage only 3 arms and how that can work. And if you don't have 2 solid aces, one's going to have to take on more of the workload. So I think 4 pitchers will be a good addition.
Hit well to right field. Zirkle goes back and makes the play. The side is retired. Welcome back. It is the 3rd inning here in Rosemont, Illinois. It is Team Reed and Team Osterman, and so far so good for Team Osterman. They just put a 6 spot on the board. Shelby Pendley walked and scored a run an inning ago. She's playing shortstop, and she's smiling with a microphone on. Shelby, how you doing?
I'm good.
That's fun playing when the offense is clicking. 6 runs in the second innings helps every time.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Hey, just curious, since we're better, I haven't come in there yet. Your glove, I've always been impressed with the defense that you play. What kind of glove do you use?
This one that I have on right now is the Dustin Pedroia 11.5. I had been using a different one, but I went back to this one because, let's be real, my defense hasn't been very good. For me, anyways.
So you have a couple of gamers that you trust?
Mainly really just this one.
Okay.
But I went to a different glove and decided to go back to this one, so hopefully it works. There you go, nice spot.
You guys have like scouting reports going into a game like this on like defense where you're trying to play, or is it just based on your experience?
I think it's just based on experience. Like this kind of a small amount of players, you figure it out after first weekend or two.
Short
Yeah,
hop,
Leach.
picked up. Leach throws out Zirkle. Hey, tell us
Yeah,
about
Kat.
this field, Shelby. You played in the field a lot in years past in National Pro Fast Pitch, but they've changed. It used to be rubber tires in between the bristles. Now it's wood chips. How has that changed how you're fielding balls?
It's a lot different. It's really slow. It's not ever true. Sometimes the ball does a zigzag thing. Sometimes it's really slow. It's just different than normal turf that I think any of us have ever played on. There we go.
It's wet too today. Has that made a difference?
It is wet. I mean, so if somebody has a smaller hand, it might be hard to throw the ball. Just slick in your hand. I kind of have a bigger hand, so it's a little easier for me, but still kind of hard. I mean, you would think that the wood chips would have soaked up more of the water, but it's still pretty wet out here.
Yeah, because I've seen a ton of people slide past second base in the
Yeah.
game earlier, and then it's happened a little bit today. So
Yeah.
it's got an interesting read to it.
But yeah, 3-8.
You know, I have to ask, I hate bringing it up, but you haven't won a game yet. And
I
now
know.
you're on you're on Kat's team. There's a good shot you're going to win a game. But has that been frustrating? What's the mentality with trying to deal with that?
I mean, yes, it's frustrating, but that's how it happens. It happens like that sometimes, and you can't let it really affect you too much mentally, or you're just going to keep going down into that hole. So, I mean, it sucks point-wise and that kind of stuff because you get a lot of points for team wins, but what can I do, you know?
Yeah.
Just contribute where I can, and I can be better in some of those areas. And my bad, Kati.
Heck of a play
My
by
bad.
Pendley, but McClenny can fly down the line. It's a tough job being a shortstop in this league, Shelby. Tough
Yeah.
being a shortstop in this league with all the speed.
My bad. Yeah, I got you there. Hey, watch this here. Watch this here. What?
Yeah, and that's honestly,
Yeah.
that's the
Even if
best
it's
she
a good
can
throw,
do
she's
at that. I mean, McClenny has way too much speed.
Yeah, just on middle. There we go. Nice spot.
How is it playing with your sister? I mean, that's got to be pretty cool, playing in this league together.
Yeah, I mean, we're roommates. That's nice, especially because we're isolated. We have a little bit of company. But we haven't played together in over a year. I think 2018 was the last time we played together
Okay.
on Pride. And then last year, I was with USA, not in the league, so I didn't get to play with her last year. There we go!
Shelby, curious, you've obviously played elite level shortstop and third. You're playing with one of the better third basemen in the world today. What do you think about Jessie Warren? What makes her good defensively?
She's a freaking stud. I mean, every play she's going like full out. Hey, watch that steal here. There we go. Yes, she did.
She did not. No swing, so the bat
I see ya.
continues.
I'm with you. She did, Shelby. She did.
yeah.
With you.
So what? Kat will get it right here. Yeah, 3-8. I mean, Jessie can move. She can throw runners out. She has good reads. She's not afraid to lay out. Leach, you good? Oh. Hey, two.
Wonderful play.
You good? You sure? Yep. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. Okay. You hit my shin. You're out. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Push her over. You're out. Get out of here.
Love the communication. Love the communication. Everyone knew exactly where to go. There was no panic. How did Mauga miss the ball? The
Yeah, we
glove
got
that
two.
she's using.
And why did Mauga go all the way over there when Leach was standing right there too?
Up in that air.
But I mean, that's a pro. Pendley gets to 2, tells her exactly where to go, doesn't freak out in that situation.
Jeff, I'm middle a little. There we go. Yeah, 3-8. That's another thing. I mean, Jessie played short all growing up. She played baseball. So she can come back and be comfortable and move laterally still back here, and that helps a shortstop, especially up here. Nice spot. Because a ball hitting 5-6, usually if there's any slight speed with that runner, it's hard to throw him out, period. Whereas if the third baseman can come get that, that's an easier throw. There we go.
Why don't people stand up in the box against Kat?
She just makes the drop sooner.
But I feel like if you're in the back of the box, like they're swinging at pitches, not even close, but the front of the box, they can at least.
Wow, nice. What a tag by Shelby Pendley. Hey, Shelby, thank you so much. Fantastic watching you. Shelby Pendley lays down a wonderful tag and caught trying to steal second base is Hannah Flippin, and the inning is over. It is now the bottom of the third inning. It's 6-1 lead, Team Osterman on top of Team Reed. Let's take a look at our Geico leaderboard, get you up to speed. Remember, 56 of the best players in the world involved in this league and playing for points. The top 10 right now. Kat Osterman is in first place by a wide margin. Each week, the top 4 cumulative leaders will be the captains. Janie Reed is currently 5th. She is the captain of one of the teams right now, but she's in a bind. Her team is down by 5 with Kat Osterman pitching. Here's Katiana Mauga. It'll be Mauga, Pendley, and Fagan batting in the third inning. Mauga struck out an inning ago. First time she struck out in 7 games. Looking for some revenge. Foul down the left field line, 1-1.
And I think if I'm Team Reed, I'm just keeping Hennigan out there. Honestly, with only having 3 pitchers, you have to be super strategic with how you're going to game plan. And to come back with 5 runs on Kat, that'll be tough. So I think I see O'Toole in the pen warming up. But I want to save some innings for O'Toole, right? I don't want to just throw her into a game where there's probably not a good shot of us coming back and scoring 5. I want to... Hey, Hennigan's got herself in this pickle. She hasn't thrown a ton. I just keep her out there and wear it. And that's never the best philosophy because it doesn't feel good, but you're going to figure out better ways to work together and work with your catcher and start to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Well, it's one of those things I think that we're going to see evolve in years to come. Is there's going to be a lot of different strategies towards getting hitters out. When you talk to people, it's been much said over the first couple of weeks, this has been a hitter's league so far. And to counteract that, maybe you could have Johnny Allstaff, where you have multiple pitchers scheduled to throw and you just have matchup situations where you like this particular pitcher against a particular batter and you go back and forth throughout the course of the game. Maybe that's something that we're going to see in the coming weeks and maybe the coming years, because having just that one dominant pitcher a la Kat Osterman, it's hard to find.
It is very difficult. I couldn't agree more. I think matchups are something that we're going to see a little bit more of. Another thing that we don't talk much about is the battery doesn't have a ton of experience calling their own pitches because they've been coming out of college with being told what to do. So in this environment, they need to be able to make those decisions. And when you haven't been doing that.
Shelby Pendley, deep drive to right field, going back, looking up, and making the play is Zirkle. She's got paint chips on her shoulders. That's the second catch that Zirkle has made right up against that wall in right field.
And that's why when I, call college softball and we got armbands and this and calling pitches based on the armband, I get the strategic way. We don't want others to pick signs, this and that. But the softball IQ is what I miss. A pitcher being able to call her own game with the catcher and see reads, see how the hitter is moving. Why has that gone away? That's the best part about the game. And that was one of the coolest parts for me, was being able to, in the national championship game, I'm calling my own game with my catcher based on what I feel and how she takes a hack at it and just things like that. So the IQ, I think, sometimes for the battery is not where it needs to be. So they struggle because it's, okay, I need to call pitches for Hennigan and I need to call pitches for O'Toole, and I don't know if O'Toole likes this or that. Man, pitchers, just be better. Take ownership of what you want to throw, and I mean, it's not that hard, but then again, they haven't been taught because when they've been in college, pitches have been called for them.
You played obviously 4 years out in Washington. How many of those 4 years did you call your own pitches?
Every single year. It's all I've ever known. I still called my own games. Great relationship with my catchers. That's number one. But I don't need a coach telling me what I should throw from the dugout. I get the video you need to do and watch and do your research, but when you're in that moment and your foot's on the mound and someone takes a giant hack on that pitch, the pitching coach in the dugout can't see that. They don't know. But the pitcher-catcher duo, you feel it, you see it.
1-2 to Fagan, a little bit outside. 2-2. Fagan had a 2-run double an inning ago. 6-run second inning for Team Osterman.
I feel like it's almost like you just keep the training wheels on the bike, and then all of a sudden you've just taken them off and
How about Hennigan? The roller coaster continues. And through 3 innings, it is a 6-1 score. Kat Osterman has been her usual magical self. Gave up the solo home run to Hannah Flippen in the first inning, but zeros since. She has given up 2 hits, the Flippen homer, and a single by Haley McClenny. That was an infield single. Amanda Sanchez was in the batter's box when the top of the third came to an end. Hannah Flippen was thrown out trying to steal. So Sanchez batting again. It'll be Sanchez, Taylor Edwards, and Tori Vidalis.
tough pitch.
How is Kat Osterman different than the Kat Osterman that you saw when you were a young player back in 2005?
I mean, the experience part, I think, is key. I mean, I want to say, if anything, she used to throw maybe a little bit harder. She could get her curve in there at maybe 63, 64, 65. But that's not to say she can't. I just think when you're out of the game for 4, 5, 6 years, it can take a little bit longer to get back into it. But, I mean, when she gets her drop ball moving and gets that spin with her curve and back door, she's like her old self.
Tried to paint. 1-2. Yeah, Kat was a prodigy. Originally was not elite. First time she played softball, she said she was kind of just there, just another player. But then she had a growth spurt and figured it out. And then every single high school record was hers, and became the go-to recruit that went to Texas, and of course was arguably one of the best ever. I only think arguably with some of the things. Best ever out of the Big 12. Small handful of players who have done anything close to what she's been able to accomplish. On the ground, Shelby Pendley stays low, throws a dart. There's our first out of the 4th inning.
And this is where Kat has been dealing today. I mean, it's that drop ball that's almost unhittable. Like, you're not touching that pitch, but then she sneaks in those backdoor curves that really catches you off balance. And that's the thing. If you find yourself constantly guessing against a pitcher like Kat, no dice. It's not going to happen. You're going to swing at pitches way out of the zone. And you just look at her pitch count, 18 balls, 34 strikes. She is getting ahead. So as a hitter, it's like, okay, if I'm not comfortable moving up in the box, I got to know that she's throwing a lot of strikes right now. And I have to try to swing at pitches that are strikes and stop swinging at pitches that are balls. It's that simple, Eric.
This is incredible. Coming into this weekend's action, Kat Osterman, 41 strikeouts. In the air, Kat's going to take it herself. How about that? It's rare when you see a pitcher catch a pop up, but Kat, you've earned the right to do whatever you want. So Kat Osterman coming into this weekend's action, 41 strikeouts. Pretty big number, huh? Well, if you take the next 3 pitchers in the strikeout category, that would be Alexis Osorio, that would be Danielle O'Toole, and that would be Morgan Foley. If you add their totals together, that's still fewer strikeouts than Kat has by herself.
But she's a rare breed.
Ocasio, Foley, and O'Toole have combined for 36 strikeouts. Kat has 41 herself.
But you just don't see movement that Kat brings to the table. That, like I've said, it's tough to get used to that, and you're going to strike out. But AB to AB, what are the adjustments? What's the info you're passing on to people to try to, you know, continue to have good at-bats off of her? But you're not going to go deep on her often.
Well, Vidalis is set up, a ball and 2 strikes. That was an awkward swing. How would you read into that swing, and what would be your next pitch?
Yeah, I wouldn't be swinging at that. But I'm also up here in the booth and not in the box. But, I mean, if I'm Kat, I'm going to go down and make her chase something again. And then I would continue to work on my rise ball, right? We haven't seen a lot of the pitchers. We saw Hennigan throw the ball a little up in the zone. And we saw Wagner earlier in today's game. And if I'm Kat, like I remember my strikeout against Piper, I go up in the zone and try to challenge the hitters a bit.
Counts full, 3-2. Chase to pitch down in the dirt. Catcher Svekis throws to Mauga covering. 2 more strikeouts for Kat. Mandie Perez, last time up, all she did was smoke a home run. Her first hit with Athletes Unlimited. 26-year-old getting an opportunity against a new pitcher. Someone she's very familiar with, a fellow Arizona Wildcat. This is Danielle O'Toole coming into the circle. So O'Toole replaces Hennigan, who goes the first 3 innings.
And there's some rollover points that are on the board. The 3rd and 4th innings would be 20 points for everyone on your team. So the importance of trying to win those innings. And it was really cool to sit down and just talk with O'Toole yesterday about the stuff she learned last weekend. And she's someone that really just likes to keep a binder of everything she puts together and watches a ton of film.
One ball and 1 strike. Currently ranked 28th, right in the middle of the pack. 28 out of 56 players. That's not indicative of how highly she is thought of, though. I think it's just really difficult to be a pitcher here in this league. O'Toole was the number 3 overall pick in the draft that was held on Tuesday. Remember, these women are drafted each week. Different captains, different teams every week. And O'Toole was the first player selected by team captain Janie Reed. So even though she's middle of the pack in points, Janie Reed understands that she needs Danielle O'Toole to win ball games this weekend.
And that's the importance of needing to get a pitcher right out of the chute.
Yeah, Kat Osterman, of course, is captain, so she was picking for herself. But after Kat, whose first pick was Gwen Svekis, the next 2 off the board were Haley Wagner, a pitcher, and then Danielle O'Toole. So clearly highly thought of is O'Toole, even though she has struggled at times against these fantastic hitters with Athletes Unlimited. No swing. And one of the facilitators, Lauren Lappin, is out of the dugout with words. Clearly pointing into the third base dugout and saying that's a pitch that Kat's been getting all night.
And I love it. Lapp gets fired up, and I just love when she has her team's back.
High pop up, playable. McClenny, out number 1.
And that's something I really love about this league. I like that there's not coaches. The captains and the ones that are atop the leaderboard are the ones that get to make those big time decisions. pick and choose who they want on their team, and that's what makes this system so unique.
Here's Moultrie. Last second hack, 0-1.
And I think pushing people out of their comfort zone at times is what allows for them to grow and just continue to keep getting better, right? And if you're constantly switching teams, you got to get to know people that you may not normally get to know.
I think for Michelle Moultrie, this is one of the reasons why this league is phenomenal. She clearly finds it important to continue with her softball. She was an All-American and All-Everything when she was a player at Florida, but she graduated 2012. She's been with the national team ever since, and she's going to Tokyo to play in the Summer Olympics next year. She needs reps, and there's no other place that she can get reps this good than here in Chicago with Athletes Unlimited softball. Needs to stay sharp if she wants to continue playing at her age. So this has been a godsend in her life.
And there 19 of the 56 athletes are hoping to go to the 2021 Olympics if it still stands. So I think that it just benefits them in so many ways, in the sense where they are keeping, you know, up with their training and getting those live reps, but also getting to be around other national team athletes. Some people are getting ABs off of O'Toole that will get ABs off of her in the 2021 Olympic Games. People are getting to see Kat Osterman live, and that's what you put in the mental piggy bank. That's stuff that you remember and be able to utilize to potentially help you win an Olympic medal.
Victoria Hayward. That went off the toe. So it's a foul ball, 0-2. Hayward, you see the back of her helmet. She has got that Canadian flag. There's a couple of really cool touches that if you're very observant, you can notice. You see the Canadian flag on the back of Hayward's helmet. If you look closely at Danielle O'Toole's glove, she has got Olympic rings on her glove. If you look at the knob of Nerissa Meyer's bat, who we saw play in the first game, there's the emblem for Great Britain, team that she played for, trying to qualify for the Olympics a summer ago.
Well, and interesting enough, I mean, being part of national teams, you're constantly sharing bats and everything like that. But with COVID, like, your bat, no one else can use it. There's a very strict protocol.
Moultrie on the move, throw it out a second. Wow, what a tag! Oh my goodness, Hannah Flippin. A small thing, but a great thing. That was sensational, the tag she laid on Moultrie on the way by.
She's just so textbook in her position. You see the spot on tag, goes right in front of the base, isn't going to necessarily try to tag Moultrie, but it's just that low key boom, boom, up, swipe. It's what they teach. Textbook.
Tough break for Moultrie. The caught stealing cost her 10 points. And Hayward strikes out. Wonderful inning for Danielle O'Toole. Comes out of the pen and goes 1-2-3 with help from a gorgeous tag from Hannah Flippin. Top of the fifth inning, and the wheels are in motion. Interesting decision. Team Osterman, they've got a 5-run lead, but Kat, the captain, decides to give herself the hook, and she's replaced by Kamalani Dung. Janie Reed slices one into left field. Leadoff single for the captain of Team Reed. She's now 1 for 2. Kamalani Dung finished up at Cal Berkeley, former Golden Bear. She's been impressive in spots here through the first 2 weeks of Athletes Unlimited softball.
I thought she did a great job last weekend. She hit some good spots and jammed up a lot of great hitters. And I like this change by Kat. Kat's going to need a little bit of help. She can't throw 3 games.
One of the things that makes this interesting, though, is we've had back-to-back rollover innings. No one has scored since the second inning, so both the third and the fourth inning were tied. That means that this fifth inning, whichever team outscores the other will get 30 points. Every member of their team gets 30 points. So by Kat taking herself out, that puts that 30 points in some significant jeopardy.
I know, I'm trying to think if it's like a how my body feels, or is it worth 30 points if I know I still have 2 more games that I'm going to have to potentially throw.
There's the strike that Dung needed. Monroe doesn't run particularly well, so you think that if Monroe put the ball on the ground, there could be a double play. Three and one. Now with a 5-run lead, you don't want to walk Monroe and put runners at first and second with nobody out. But she has 5-pitch walk to Monroe. Runners at first and at second, nobody out.
And I like it. Svekis comes out and just takes the initiative to just have that conversation, kind of calm Dung down a little bit. She seems to be rushing, and anytime you have someone that throws 5 straight balls, I just think to be able to allow them to have a deep breath.
Yeah, one thing that Dung has shown is she's able to get the strikeout when needed. Here's Urtez showing bunt, almost got drilled.
Kat is going to have to utilize her bullpen, and she has Kelly Barnhill, who has struggled as well, and then she has Dung. So I think it's trying to find what type of rotation she can have where she can help herself out and take a couple innings off, and also try to get these other pitchers going and continuing to have success.
0-2 to Urtez. So the bunt taken off, and she's going for the downs, and all of a sudden in trouble. 0-2. Morgan Zirkle in the on-deck circle. Dung is from Hawaii. Big strikeout. That's the equalizer. You can afford to walk a batter or two if you can throw the strikeout when you need it.
Well, and she's amping it up too, and she's throwing pretty hard. She's just a teeny little thing, but she can bust it in there at 65 miles an hour and clearly catches Urtez off guard.
Now some small ball possibly with Zirkle. Starts with a strike. Got to get the stopwatch out, but for my money, Zirkle is the fastest player in this year's field. Of the 56 players, no one moves as quickly as she does. She's in trouble. Down 0-2. That's a pivotal part of the game. Kat Osterman's out. Runners at first and at second. Just 1 out. Team Reed needs something doing here. Up the middle, base hit. Here comes Reed, and she'll make it without a throw. RBI single for Zirkle. That's a good bit of hit right there. Down in the count, 0-2. A solid single to center.
And that's a pitch that's just supposed to be a little bit more underneath her hands and just tends to drift a little too much, over the plate, and she hits it right back up the middle. Pendley can't get to it because she will crash into Reed.
So far so good for Team Reed here in the 5th inning. They've scored a run. If they can hold Team Osterman scoreless in the bottom of this inning, they will all get 30 points. So even if you end up losing the ball game and things don't go your way, inning points can help you out. Joey Lai, 33-year-old Canadian, comes on to run for Monroe at second. Called strike 1 to McClenny. McClenny, the real deal. I guess you could make an argument for Kelly Kretschman, but a lot of people think that McClenny, the greatest to ever play at Alabama.
That's a big statement. Can't turn my back on Kretschman.
I don't think I can either.
Yeah, she's one of the best.
Kretschman played her college ball with the white ball, though. I guess in the yellow ball era. How about we go there? So, Kelly, you're still good. In the yellow ball era, Haley McClenny. On the ground foul. Yeah, probably without what Kelly Kirchman did at Alabama, there would have been no Haley McClenny at Alabama. Kelly put that program on the map. No one handled the bat like she did. Good God. All right, a ball and 2 strikes. Already 1 run in, 2 base runners on, and McClenny up against it.
That's a great pitch. 1-2 count, 66 on the corner. I like that spot.
On the ground, that'll make it through. Leibing waved around third. The throw to third. Zirkle is safe, and that allows McClenny to take an extra base. Single RBI, and it's now a 3-run game. Team Osterman leads by 3. Still just 1 out in the 5th inning.
That's just such good hitting. She's so good, and it's kind of a deja vu of the last one. Pendley doesn't want to interfere with the runner, so lets it get straight through to Victoria Hayward. But just continuing to pour it on, passing the bat. And this is where you have to wonder, like, is it something for Kat where it's like, am I going to let this get close to the fact where it might get tied, or do I put myself back in the game and then deal with how that works? And it's a challenge, because the older you get, it is difficult to throw 3 games in a week, right? It's
Hannah Flippin swings at the first pitch and fouls it away. Flippin 1 for 2, solo home run in the 1st inning.
You see Kelly Barnhill in the bullpen, and there's just 3 pitchers, Kat and Kelly and Kamalani Dung.
High drive, left field line, foul territory. And what a play made by Perez. Falls down, and that allows Zirkle to score. It'll be a sacrifice fly. It is a 3-run 5th inning, and all of a sudden it's a 2-run game.
This is a tough catch, which is dealing with a little bit of wind, and obviously her catching it and falling back, there's just no shot at being able to get the runner that tagged up. But I think outs are key in this situation.
6-4 ball game. Amanda Sanchez. Sanchez, first 2 times, both against Kat Osterman. A strikeout and a bounce out, and the chirping continues. Lauren Lappin was in the dugout an inning ago, upset. Now she's coaching third, upset. Two balls and a strike. Third weekend of Athletes Unlimited softball. Doubleheader Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Count evens. This has been somewhat of a rare inning. We've seen in this league when you score runs, they come on homers, they come on extra base hits. This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts. A single here, a walk here, a sacrifice fly, an extra base taken on an overthrow. 3 runs on the board already for Team Reed. 2-2 on the ground. This line the frame. Mauga with that massive glove of hers. Gloves stepped on the backside, retired. But 3-run score for Team Reed. position. Earlier today we had rain. It was a great day here in the Chicagoland area. Has turned into a really nice night for softball. Here's Aubrey Leach. Chops the first pitch she sees foul. We have some housekeeping to clean up with Aubrey Leach. Her last time up, the original call on the field, we thought it was going to be an inside the park home run. That has since been changed. It has officially scored a double, give her an RBI, but then an error on the left fielder, Janie Reed, allowed her to score. So instead of the homer and getting 40 points, it is the double. She gets 20 points. Makes a difference. She'll add 10 more points to her total. That's a solid base hit to center field. So a 2-for-3 ball game for Leach. She's aboard to begin our 5th inning. First base hit allowed by Danielle O'Toole, who came on an inning ago. Here's Jessie Warren. Hit hard to left field. Circling it, Reed makes the play. I think she got that up the end of the bat. So a line out to left. Leach nowhere to go, stays at first.
I like it. Danielle O'Toole calls timeout to just bring Monroe out, and obviously just kind of talking shop about what they want to throw. And I can't express it enough that it can be difficult being a catcher in this league, only because they're constantly having to learn new pitchers, what their comfort level is of what they want to throw, and that can change. I mean, you look at the beginning of this game, it was a completely different pitcher, and then you're bringing in O'Toole. Hats off to the catchers. I know they're working hard.
Gwen Svekis takes a big hat, fouls it away. Remember, there's a lot of inning points on the line. The 3rd inning, the 4th inning, all were tied, so we have rollover points. So this is a 30-point inning. Team Reed did score 3 times in the top of the 5th, so Team Osterman needs 3 to at least not give the inning away. If they score 4, their roster will get 30 points apiece. Paul pops away from Monroe, allows Leach to move into scoring position. Small little detail, but it could be important. Svekis doesn't run exceedingly well, a potential double play candidate if Leach was still on at first.
She would beg to differ. She told you that.
Goodness, yes. Feel bad just saying it. Chase the pitch. Soft. 49-mile-per-hour changeup, and Svekis can't stop herself. 2 down. Second strikeout for O'Toole. O'Toole comes from good stock. Her mother, Diana, pitched collegiately at UC San Diego. Kind of a cool moment a week ago. These women, of course, are inside the shield here in Chicago, and they don't have access to family and friends for this 6-week window where they're here. And Danielle's mother had a really nice note that was showed on the scoreboard before a game last weekend, and she saw it, and it made her get emotional. Close relationship between mother and daughter. Katiana Mauga, former teammate at Arizona with O'Toole.
And this is one of the matchups O'Toole says she least looks forward to, is thrown to her former teammate at Arizona.
High pop-up. O'Toole's going to win the battle. Flippin' makes the play. A lot of wind made it look easy. Sides retired. O'Toole continues to shine. The 6th inning is next. Top of the 6th inning. Close ball game, 6-4. Team Osterman on top of Team Reed. Taylor Edwards is the batter. And she'll face a new pitcher. Kelly Barnhill comes on. Barnhill, the third pitcher of the night for Team Osterman. What's been the story for Kelly Barnhill through the first couple of weeks with Athletes Unlimited?
I think she just struggled a little bit. I mean, only 7.2 innings thrown and a little bit of a higher ERA than I'm sure she would like. And I wish I knew. It's not that she's not one of the best in the game, because she is. I mean, she throws the ball 70 miles an hour. I just think sometimes it's between the ears for her where she'll tend to struggle a little bit or fall behind. And I mean, I'll say it now and I'll say it plenty more times. If you throw 70 miles an hour, you should be one of the most dominant forces in the game. You know, you look at Monica Abbott, you look at people in the past. Jackie Trina could throw 70 miles an hour. I just think if you can own your location, you're going to be able to have success. But it ultimately has to go back to the sense of the pitcher-catcher batteries have struggled because the pitchers and catchers have to call their own game. And I think that they've been so used to throughout their careers of being told by the pitching coach to what they want to throw.
Ball gets away from the catcher, and that's going to allow Edwards to scamper down to first. So it's a strikeout, but because the ball gets away from Svekis, Edwards is safe at first.
And this is just a great pitch by Barnhill down in the zone, and Taylor Edwards just hits that top half. And Gwen Svekis just not able to handle it.
So that'll be scored, a strikeout. Edwards running for herself at first. And the potential tying run, Tori Vidalis comes to the plate. 71 miles per hour on that pitch from Barnhill. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I mean, hardest thrower today. Foley through last game could get 67, 68, but Kelly Barnhill is by far the hardest thrower with that two-seam fastball.
High drive down the left field line. Perez again in foul territory makes the play. I'll tell you what, it has been remarkable how many balls have been hit in foul territory down the left field line in our 2 games today. Well, fans want to get an even closer look at the game. Become a member of the Unlimited Club to cast votes for player MVPs and have access to our members-only dugout camera. Learn more about the Unlimited Club by visiting auprosports.com and clicking Join in the upper right of the page. It's the player's box. Is that Sam Fisher? It is Sam Fisher. She has, I'll tell you what, if you're looking for someone to have a chuckle with, Sam Fisher is phenomenal entertainment. Laced foul, third base side. Janie Reed, the captain. There's Sam Fisher. You just knew she'd have a goofy mask. Popped up. It's going to be playable for someone. Leach, 2 down. So after allowing Edwards to reach on a strikeout and a passed ball, Barnhill didn't let that get her down. Gets Vidalis and Reed, and now Aubrey Monroe. These two familiar with each other, both former Florida Gators. That's a question for you, Danielle. Are you a former Washington Husky or are you forever a Washington Husky?
I'm forever.
Okay, so I'm not going to say Danielle Laurie, former Husky.
No.
Okay. All right, battle of 2 Gators here. Barnhill and Monroe. I'll tell you what, this is the best we've seen from Kelly Barnhill.
And I like that they made that pitching change because I think Kat needs to see where these pitchers are at, right? Dung last inning and then getting some more innings for Barnhill to see how she can approach tomorrow's lineup. And she's going to need help from those pitchers. She's not going to be able to go out and throw 2 more games. One of these pitchers is going to have to throw 4, 5, 6 innings.
1-2 to Monroe. Softly. That is a foul ball. Jessie Warren down at third base, hasn't been tested. Normally when Jessie gets tested, she's up to the task. I think right there, you see that little spot on her right thigh where she's got that, it looks like rosin? I think she's using that to dry her hand. And she is. She thinks of everything.
Well, not having dirt can make it a little bit more difficult too, because you will usually bend down to grab the dirt to kind of get your hands to what you like. Some like it where they don't feel anything. Like I would prefer to have rosin to where I can't even feel the ball in my hands, and some like a sticky gorilla grip type feel. And when it's hot and humid, Chicago tends to be a little bit more humid, your hands can get slick.
Good at bat by Monroe. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just curious, Danielle, as an elite pitcher, where did you like your best defender to be? At third base or at shortstop?
I mean, I was really fortunate to have Jen Salling as a teammate for a long time, so I would say shortstop for me. They run that infield.
Looper left field line. That ball is fair. Just inside the line. And the base hit for Aubrey Monroe. So Monroe bests her former teammate. Inning remains alive. 10 points for Aubrey Monroe and a big smile. We now have 2 catchers on the base paths for Team Reed.
And this seems to be the trend with later in the innings, bringing in Lily Piper for a pinch hit. A lot of pop in her bat.
Yeah, Piper has never started a game, but she's been impressive. Piper from Ohio State can handle velocity. We know that. 385 is the batting average. That's an obviously limited time.
We all know the importance of buckling down with runners on. I mean, one swing by Piper puts Team Reed ahead.
5 hits and 13 at bats for Piper. Also played Division I basketball. Started her college experience in the Mid-American Conference. Played for the Akron Zips and scored 28 points in a game one time. You got Edwards on at second. You got Monroe on at first. A well-placed ball to the alley, and maybe both runners score, and we're tied. Wouldn't that be something? 2-1. Three and 1. Now Barnhill seemingly was cruising, but then she couldn't get her former college teammate Monroe out. And now having a hard time throwing a strike to Piper. Good pitch to hit. Maybe not. That was painted. 67 outer half.
Well, and that's a good take. I mean, I don't see her doing much with that, but 3-2, obviously you'd have to pull the trigger. But I mean, 67, low in the zone, pretty pitch.
Both runners will be off. On the ground, standard issue. Play made by Leach, side retired. Good job by Kelly Barnhill. Six to 4, bottom of the 6th inning. Team Osterman on top of Team Reed. Let's take a look at our Geico leaderboard. Points mean everything. In the 3rd spot, Danielle O'Toole pitching her 3rd inning. She's been a revelation, hasn't allowed a run. Former Arizona Wildcat All-American, working to Shelby Pendley, Sammy Fagan, and Mandie Perez. 0-2 to Pendley. This could be a historic night for Shelby. Hadn't won a game here with Athletes Unlimited. 0 for 6 first 2 weekends. Right side, flipping, throws out Pendley.
I think Danielle O'Toole has done a great job. She's come into the game and just kind of stopped the bleeding a little bit, found a way to hit great spots, has had good communication with Monroe.
Off speed, starts Fagan off with a strike. 49 miles per hour. Is that just called a straight change, or is there a different term for what O'Toole's throwing?
Just a straight change. Because that's a big difference, 49, and then she usually cruises anywhere from 60 to 63 miles an hour.
There used to be a theory that you would never throw the first pitch in at bat to a player a changeup. Did you ever? The thought was, what were you changing from? Like basically, you'd want to throw something hard before throwing a changeup to make a difference.
Yeah, but you have way too many first pitch swingers in this league.
Really nice 3-pitch strikeout of Fagan. So O'Toole's gotten the first 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Take a look at our AstroTurf Offensive Player of the Game.
I think it just shows when you get some consistent ABs, that's when you start to kind of feel your way and see yourself have some success. It can be difficult being a player that doesn't play a lot and wanting to be consistent. But this is how players kind of shine. You saw that with Morgan Howe. First weekend out, didn't play a lot, but then all of a sudden starts to play consistent ABs, and now she's a top 10 for me. I would want her on my team all day.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Team Osterman scored all of their runs in the 2nd. 6 runs scored. All of that damage against Randy Hennigan. But ever since then, in only 1 inning, has more than 3 batters come to the plate. That was in the 5th when 4 batters came to the plate. Offense has really been stymied since Danielle O'Toole came into the game. Both Perez and the pitcher O'Toole spending 5 years in college. O'Toole was a transfer, sat out a year. Perez, medical redshirt, had to sit out a year with a knee injury. High pop up. It's going to be playable. Center field. McClenny. Side is retired. O'Toole is now retired 6 in a row. It has come down to this, the 7th inning. Team Osterman trying to protect a 2-run lead. It's 6-4. And Kat Osterman, who pitched the first 4 innings and then gave way to Kamalani Dung, and Kelly Barnhill has called her own number again, and she will try and pick up the last 3 outs.
Well, especially going into the top of the 7th inning, there's a little bit more pressure, right? It's a 2-run game, and I think if the ball's in her hand, confidence is there. She wants to be able the one that that can control the outcome of this last inning. And I think that's a smart move by her.
Well, Team Reed, they're going to put their best foot forward. It's going to be the number 9 hitter, Morgan Zirkle, followed by Haley McClenny, Hannah Flippin, and if anyone gets on, Amanda Sanchez. Zirkle can fly. 0-2. Zirkle is 1 for 2, but that base hit came against Kamalani Dung. In her 1 AB against Kat back in the 3rd inning, she bounced out to 2nd. Cat's been touched up for a homer. Flippin got her back in the first inning. Out number 1.
This is just such a pretty pitch. It's the curveball on the outside part of the plate. This is way out of the zone. Just such long levers. I love that slow-mo view.
Here's McClenny on the ground. Interesting to see how that one scored. That was smoked right at Pendley. So a runner is aboard with 1 out. Let's take a look at our Geico defensive play of the game. It was Hannah Flippin on a tag at second base. Gorgeous. Flippin has already homered once tonight against Osterman. A homer here would tie the game at 6. That ball hit by McClenny a moment ago was scorched. It's going to be ruled an error, though. An error on the shortstop, Pendley.
And if Team Reed is not able to score in this inning, the game will be done, and those rollover points from last inning and into the 7th will go to Team Osterman.
Half-hearted swing, and on 3 pitches, Flippin strikes out. So Flippin, who homered against Cat back in the first inning, looked helpless in this at-bat.
And that's such a good pitch. It's an off-speed curve that she throws that came in at 58 miles an hour. Obviously fooled Flippin, you could tell.
All right, 1 more out to get for Osterman. Amanda Sanchez. Sanchez 0 for 3. 2 of those at-bats coming against Cat. A strikeout and a bounce out. McClenny on at first. The home run ties it. Cat Osterman has never lost a game here in this format. She is 6-0. 2-1. Why was Cat pointing to herself saying, my bad?
Maybe just a missed spot. I mean, that's one thing she's always done is just taking ownership of that, like my bad. Pick you up.
2-1. Picture perfect.
And at 2-1, you're not going to get much better than that. You know, you got to unleash on a pitch like that because now she can toy with you. She can go down in the zone. She can go up. She can also go away with that curve, so you'll catch yourself guessing.
2-2, 2 outs. Whisker outside. Oh, this all of a sudden is dicey. 3 balls and 2 strikes. With 2 outs, McClenny will be off with the pitch. If Sanchez can keep the game alive, Taylor Edwards on deck. Here it is. Hard down the left field line. Perez made the play! Ball game! Mandie Perez saves the day. And how about that? The beat continues for Team Osterman. They pick up a Saturday night win.
And I love the defense. When someone's able to lay out for you, I mean, that just fires you up as a pitcher. I love the fact that Kat came back into this game, but also got to see what Kamalani Dung and Kelly Barnhill were all about as well, to just dictate what our lineup will be tomorrow. But Perez just making a fantastic catch to end the game and to stop and crush the momentum of Team Reed.
That may have been a fair ball, and that would have been trouble. And now all of a sudden we're thinking about MVP points for Mandie Perez. She hit the home run, makes a wonderful defensive play to save the day.